Hey everyone, Michael here. We had a blockbuster report coming out for CPI, coming in cooler than expected at 3.3%. This is absolutely beautiful, and here's why. Now, if you guys have been watching me for a while, we've been talking about when is the Fed going to be cutting rates. Before this announcement, there's about a 48% chance we were going to have cuts in September. I would say right now, that is up to 60 to 65%. Not 80, 90 or for sure done deal, but this is going to move drastically. Before it was 50-50, with a lot of people determining we're not going to even have the first cut until September. No cut in August as well, so you guys can see there's no 8, 15 or 8 level right there, okay? Now, if that's the case, we're probably going to see a cut in September, no cut in October, and then another one coming over here in November right there, okay? So that means that by the end of this year, Bitcoin should start moving up a lot more. In terms of how everything's been going, we're still pretty much flat. That's a year's worth of inflation in front of you, and you can see how it's pretty much just been sideways here. Sideways, sideways, sideways. And that's okay, because as long as the economy is still growing at this point and inflation is somewhat not going up, maybe coming down hopefully, that's enough for the Fed to start cutting rates. And then from there, we start looking at breaking out above a lot of different levels of resistance. Right now, off of that news, we were able to bounce off of that support level that we had been talking about, right around 66,500 or so. Went down a little bit below that, to be honest. And we are taking off right now as far as Bitcoin's concerned. Now, Bitcoin may only be up around 4%, but Bonk is up 11, Miro is up 10, Milady token's up 13, Ape is up 5. You're seeing a lot of tokens up between 5 and 15%, which is great because they lost a lot of value over the past few days with that horrible jobs report, which was actually good, but in reality was bad for inflation because of the jobs gains there, or I would say the earnings gains, I would say actually on that one right there. So what happens next? Because of this, we're most likely going to be looking for a few things going forward. The big one here is if we have this good FOMC minutes meeting coming out later on today, we should find a way to break out either this week or next week, more likely than not sometime this month, breaking above this level of resistance here, 72,359. From there, start going up all the way over here towards $104,000 and that next level of resistance. Up there is probably where most of you guys are going to look to scale out of a lot of your positions. You've been dollar cost averaging over here. And by that, you really just have to hope that each month going forward, CPI is just acceptable. And then I think we're going to be just fine here. Short term, guys, 4-hour charts looking very, very beautiful. We kind of went right up to that 50 moving average on the 4-hour chart, but you can see how we barely held support. We got in, we rose to the top here, and now we're looking to consolidate and waiting for a larger move to happen sometime later on today, even going on to the next few days here, again, as that FOMC minutes comes out. PPI inflation data comes out tomorrow, so I might look at something like this with a larger breakout right here, and then sometime next week looking for that all-time high type of break, and again, trying to make a push up towards $75,000. There is one more thing I would say here, and I'm looking at Benjamin's Twitter if you guys want to give him a follow. The way this has been going over the past few months, it's definitely been a very volatile experience for all of us. However, CPI over the past few months has typically been a bad thing. CPI bad. Only recently, when we actually meeting expectations, or in this circumstance, beating expectations, has the market decided to move back up in a strong way. If we can use this on top of the FOMC usually being good, maybe good, I think that's a really good indicator that Bitcoin is going to be going higher over the next few days and weeks and so forth. So I'm really looking to double down a lot of my altcoin positions while also buying a little bit more Bitcoin, a little bit more Ethereum, a little bit more Solana. Not heavily on those ones because I already have massive positions on them, and I feel like I need to buy more of these tokens that have already been falling down. Because while Bitcoin may look like this in the 4-hour chart, you can see we've been pretty much steady over the last couple days, right? Something like a Arbitrum has come down heavily. Something like an Ape token has come down heavily. I'm buying up a lot more of these tokens because I believe altcoin season has not come around yet. And by the time altcoin season starts and a lot of these tokens try to make moves up towards their previous highs, some might not even get up to those highs. But you think of something like an Ape token getting back up here to this level of resistance from $1 to $6, that's still going to be a very good return of about 400%. That's what I'm looking for on top of that with the 2x leverage. There's opportunities here. Things like Pepe, it's doing great. It's doing fine. Things like, Crow, still doing okay, but nowhere near as high as those longer term plays where you're hoping to get back up to 91 cents. So I'm still looking to buy some of these up, as bad as they may look, and I'm going to continue to dollar cost average them while I can, and waiting for those next big moves as far as, you know, I just want to have a position overall. I don't want to have to worry too much about the charts generally. I know inflation's going down slowly but surely, and that's going to open up a lot of doors here. Even as we look at Bitcoin right now on the 5-minute chart, it's still consolidating and fighting like hell to try to have that next breakout level here. You may think it's looking to fall back down a little bit more. It tried a little bit, but there's still a lot of support. And I think because of those previous FOMC minutes here, everybody's still excited to see another big pop here later on through the day. This is more of a day trader's environment, if you will. I don't know if this is something where you guys want to just buy and hold for like a whole week or something like that, unless you guys really want to have a stop loss in play. For me, dollar cost averaging is still the best. Once we break out of that level of resistance, as we've talked about before, you guys know the play. Once we break out, you can buy, hold, buy, hold, buy, and then the market just kind of swoops in, picks you up, and brings you some really good returns. And don't forget, NASDAQ all-time highs. Dow Jones, not all-time highs, but the SPY all-time highs. NASDAQ SPY kind of more closely related to Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, tech, you know. That's a good message for Bitcoin here, saying, hey, we believe you're also going to be going up here in the next few weeks. Bitcoin's a little bit different. We're going to be waiting to see what happens with the inflows and whatnot, but you can see Bitcoin is still making those strong moves, and I'm very optimistic about what can happen soon. We just have to hope that the FOMC data kind of remains strong here. And I think that can definitely do it, you know, because, you know, as bad as, you know, altcoins have been, Bitcoin's been relatively okay. So if you guys like those safe harbors where you guys feel a bit more confident, I'm still saying, hey, Bitcoin's the safest place. Ethereum, Solana, also safe harbors of your money, so to speak, as safe as they can be as far as a volatile investment. But after that, again, go towards some of those meme coins, go towards some of those AI tokens. A lot of them are oversold, and I think they present a very good opportunity for you guys to actually start buying some up if you guys haven't had any already. My position on my dollar cost averages is still down because of that nasty move for altcoins, because I'm very heavily invested in those altcoins. I'm waiting for them to pop back more positive, and I'm typically just buying more and more and more. I'll be buying some more live with you guys, I believe, this Thursday to kind of help and see. But I felt like I might have missed out on buying even more of that stuff because the dip happened Friday, and the last time my dollar cost average was Thursday. So there's been a lot of moves, but overall, we're still lower than last week for a lot of those altcoins. So I'm going to have some fun buying some up. I'm just hoping that as the time goes on here, guys, we all have a decent position to kind of get this market rolling for us, or when the market does keep on going here, we're all making some really good profit. So I'll see you guys in a couple hours. Please make sure to subscribe, hit that like button. I appreciate you guys a lot. See you soon.